Good morning, everyone. How lucky are we living in Australia where we are one and free? And I think after the past few years of COVID restrictions, we've really learnt to appreciate that we can come together like this. I'd like to acknowledge the Narungga people as the traditional owners of the land that we're meeting on. And the seas surrounding it. The northern boundary being the Broughton River that flows to the Spencer Gulf, east to Red Hill, and then south to Dilba-Garanda, Innes National Park. I acknowledge that their story commenced long before Governor Hindmarsh proclaimed the province of South Australia on the 28th of December 1936. Narungga people hold a knowledge, history, and culture that extends many millennia into the past. I acknowledge that First Nations land and sovereignty were never ceded, and that building a mutual understanding and respect of history is critical to the future of this place we now share. I pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and I extend this respect to any other First Nations people that are here today. I would like to acknowledge and welcome all distinguished guests. It's very nice to have our State Member of Parliament for Narungga, Mr. Fraser Ellis, here. I'd like to welcome our soon-to-be 2 new Australians that are going to pledge their allegiance to Australia, and our award winners that are here today. This event is being live streamed for those that are unable to be present here today. So if you're watching along from home, welcome. I'd like to acknowledge and with much appreciation the grant provided by the National Australia Day Council that has enabled us to come together to celebrate Australia Day and enjoy a free breakfast. The work by the staff of the Copper Coast Council and the work by the Apex Club is much appreciated. Apex have delivered breakfast to us on Australia Day for many years. Last year, due to COVID restrictions, we missed the great breakfast they prepare, and it is great to be once again able to enjoy those bacons, eggs and lamingtons again. So thank you guys and girls. It's really hard to not thank the Kadina Wallaroo Moonta Band for the entertainment they have provided, not only today, but for always. And as always, perfectly timed to finish right at 9:30 as they were supposed to. So thank you, guys. We will hear more about them a little bit later into the event. On Australia Day, we reflect on our history, its highs and its lows. We respect the stories of others, and we celebrate our nations, its achievements, and most of all, its people. Attitudes to Australia Day are changing. The Australia Day Council of South Australia is listening to all of the views about not just the day, but what Australia is now and will become in the future. We are part of that conversation. As Australia wrestles with our National Day, we recognise this is a time to reflect on our shared history. For Australia Day 2023, it is important to bring together all parts of our national story, our First Nations ancestral heritage, Australians' connection to our colonial history, and our multicultural and refugee stories. We acknowledge all of these aspects of our nation's story. 26th of January is a chance for all of us to reflect on what being Australian really means and how we connect with this great continent and its peoples. It also provides a moment to ask ourselves, How do we belong to country and connect with our natural environment? This Australia Day, I invite you to reflect, respect, and connect with your family, friends, and community. We are all part of the story. Today, we celebrate all the things we love about Australia: land, sense of fair go, lifestyle, democracy, the freedoms we enjoy, but again, particularly our people. Today is about acknowledging and celebrating the contribution that every Australian makes to our contemporary and dynamic nation, from our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who have been here for 65,000 years, to those who have lived here for generations, to those that have come from all corners of the globe to call our country home. The marking of 26th of January is an important date in Australia's history and has changed over time, starting as a celebration for emancipated convicts and evolving into what is now a celebration of Australia that reflects the nation's diverse people. Australia Day continues to be hugely popular. It has a bigger meaning beyond just being a day off. Today, we reflect, respect, and celebrate. Many of us, showing my age here, but many of us grew up singing Song of Australia at school. I thought this was a song that everyone Australia-wide sang. And as we were all very fond of it and sang it with much gusto. It was considered for our national anthem in 1977, but Advanced Australia Fair was selected as the national anthem during a plebiscite. Having grown up singing Song of Australia, I found this really hard to believe. I thought everyone loved Song of Australia, but I've found out that it's a South Australian thing. In fact, it was probably even a little bit more important to us here on the Copper Coast, as Carolyn Carlton, who penned the words to Song of Australia, lived here in Wallaroo. Like all Australians, Mrs. Carlton lived a very full life and dealt with a large amount of adversity before retiring to Wallaroo. And if you have a little bit of spare time, Google Mrs. Carlton. She had a significant impact on South Australia and was a pioneer in Wallaroo, and it's a very interesting story. So on Australia Day, I like to pay respects to Carolyn Carlton and celebrate the contributions she made to Wallaroo. And I really think if South Australia was the only state voting, Song of Australia may have been our national anthem. But in celebration of that, we're going to have the Kadina Wallaroo band play it, and the words are in your program. So if you, like me, remember that, feel free to sing along. Well done, and once again, thank you to the Kadina Wallaroo Moonta Band. Today, we welcome two new Australians. The citizenship ceremony is a special day in the lives of these two people. It is the final step in their quest to become Australian citizens. As Australian citizens, they will add to the diversity of our nation, and in welcoming them, we will learn from each other And as we welcome them as Australians, we will see that Australian spirit grow within them. So I would like to invite the two participants in the citizenship ceremony to come forward. Juanita, have they got their pledges? Juanita, have they got their pledges? Yep. Yep, just come in here. Welcome. I will begin the citizenship ceremony by extending the apology of the Honourable Andrew Giles, MP, Minister for Immigration, Citizenship and Multicultural Affairs. As you can understand, he is unable to attend today, but has asked me to offer his warm congratulations to both of you. And he has sent a message, so I will deliver that message on his behalf. Thank you for deciding to become an Australian citizen. Today, you join a nation that is one of the world's most successful multicultural societies, with around half of all Australians being either born overseas or with at least one parent born overseas. In Australia, everyone can be proud of who they are, and everyone should be respected, valued, and feel a sense of belonging. We are privileged to share this beautiful country with the world's oldest continuing culture, and this is a fundamental part of who we are. For more than 60,000 years, First Nations people have cared for country, appreciating and understanding this truth is a vital part of what it means to be Australian. Australians are united by our shared commitment to democracy and the rule of law, and to freedom of speech, religion, and association. Our diversity is our greatest strength, and we prosper by embracing this. We believe in a society in which everyone is equal, regardless of their gender, faith, sexual orientation, age, ability, race, national or ethnic origin. Ours is the land of the fair go, in which respect and compassion underpin our care for each other and our willingness to reach out to those around us in times of need. By becoming an Australian citizen, you make a commitment to these values and to contribute to our evolving Australian story. On behalf of the Australian Government, heartfelt congratulations on becoming an Australian citizen. So the ceremony begins. So it's Satine Couchard and Aisha Siddiqa. This citizenship ceremony, which is the equivalent to what used to be known as naturalisation, is not a long ceremony, as you have already applied to the appropriate authorities and have been granted citizenship, subject to publicly making the pledge of commitment to Australia, which is the final step in becoming an Australian citizen. Then, as an Australian, you will take on a new status here and wherever you travel in the world. We are undoubtedly biased, but it is a status I am sure you will be proud. A status of a nation that is vigorous, independent, and has lots to offer. Also, as an Australian, you will become a member of a community which is democratic and everyone has equal rights and freedom of opportunity. It should be stressed that no one who applies for Australian citizenship is expected to renounce their cultural identity and customs and traditions, which are part of his or her heritage. Australians' own heritage is made richer by contributions from other lands. Today's ceremony is conducted under the authority of the Minister for Home Affairs and is prescribed by the Australian Citizenship Act 2007. As Mayor of this Council, I have been approved under the Act to administer the Pledge of Commitment as a citizen of the Commonwealth of Australia. A person's acquisition of Australian citizenship is a public recognition of that person's commitment to Australia. Citizenship is a bond that unites all Australians. There is no need for me to point out that this is a solemn act of law, and I'm sure you realise you are about to undertake a new allegiance, a new responsibility. By making the Australian Citizenship Pledge and becoming an Australian citizen, you promise your loyalty to Australia and show that you want to have your say in its future. It is my duty to remind you that every right also has responsibilities. Only if we accept our duties as Australian citizens can we make sure that the rights of ourselves and our children are protected now and in the future. Australian citizenship represents full and formal membership of the community of the Commonwealth of Australia. And Australian citizenship is a common bond involving reciprocal rights and obligations, uniting all Australians while respecting their diversity. Persons of whom Australian citizenship is conferred enjoy these rights and undertake to accept these obligations. By pledging loyalty to Australia and its people, by sharing their democratic beliefs, by respecting their rights and liberties, and by upholding and obeying the laws of Australia. Shatina, I would like to invite you to give us your full name and read the pledge, your pledge. Yep. Do you want to use the microphone? Or you don't need to. That's okay. No, that's fine.
Second as usual, from this time forward, under God, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I uphold and obey.
Thank you. And Aisha, sorry. Do you want the microphone? Or? Yep. Just might need to bring it down. You need to speak right close to it.
I am Aisha Siddiqa.
Okay.
Hello all, I am Aisha Siddiqa. From this time forward, I pledge my loyalty to Australia and its people, whose democratic beliefs I share, whose rights and liberties I respect, and whose laws I will uphold and obey. Thank you.
Thank you. You are now both a citizen of Australia and formally identified with this country, its people, and its governments. The future success we enjoy will depend on the way we work together. And with this act of law now completed, I will present you with your citizenship certificates. And on behalf of the Copper Coast Council and all of the citizens, I congratulate you and wish you well for your future as Australian citizens. So thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
Thank you for that. And we are going to conclude that ceremony with our national anthem, Advance Australia Fair, if you'd all like to be upstanding. It is now time to celebrate the achievements of some very special members of the Copper Coast and present the recipients of the Copper Coast Australia Day Awards with their awards. We are proud to have such extraordinary citizens call the Copper Coast home. I'm going to start with the 2023 Community Event of the Year. Catwalk for Cancer. I think there's a few members of the committee that are going to come up to receive this one. You going to come up, girls, ladies? I was very fortunate to have a very small involvement in this event, and what an inspiring day it was. 13 community members organised this event at the Moonta Garden and Landscape Supplies. It was to be a fashion parade featuring cancer survivors or people that had perhaps lost someone to cancer or had been touched by cancer, which, if you know, really, who of us haven't been? It's something that touches everybody. Ivy and Grace Boutique, which is my business, supplied the clothing, and that was my small involvement, and what a privilege it was. Each model came in through that week and they told us their story, and we were inspired by their courage, and it was just a fantastic week. But the day was much more than a fashion parade. The 13 committee members and their helpers, they had transformed the Moonta Garden and Landscape Supplies into a paradise of flowers and festivity, and it was truly amazing how it looked. There was food, drinks, raffles and auctions. There were stories about surviving or dealing with loss. There was laughter, there were tears, and of course there was the fashion parade. It was a sold out event and 100 people had bought tickets to attend. They generously participated in all fundraising efforts, and $10,000 was raised, which was split between the McGrath Foundation and the Cancer Council. The McGrath Foundation, of course, very importantly supplies the breast cancer nurse to those that need that, and we all know the wonderful work that the Cancer Council does. I think you can all agree that these are very, these two recipients of that $10,000 are a very worthy organisation, and I would like to congratulate this committee on the wonderful achievement and what they achieved in that day, not only in raising the funds, which is very important, but the sharing of the stories and the awareness that they brought to all of us on that day. I think it's so important to share those stories. So I don't know if someone wanted to say a few words. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, I'll just put it down. Thank you for this nomination, and to the Copper Coast Council for putting on this event. We are delighted to accept this award. This fundraiser was a result of conversations between two people who wanted to give back to the foundations after personal experiences with cancer. Lindy, who could not be here today, is a McGrath breast care nurse. And with the support and donations of many amazing businesses and guests, we were able to put together this day and raise $10,000. So thank you everyone again for this award. Thank you.
I'll just stand there and I'll put them.
ladies. Well done. Congratulations. That brings us to the Community Club of the Year. Kadina, Wallaroo and Moonta Band. This award's going to be received by the bandmaster Linda Kinch and President Mr Graham Sobey, I think, yes. I don't need to say many words about the Kadina Wallaroo Moonta Band. I think the quality of entertainment that we've been entertained by this morning speaks for itself. But the Kadina Wallaroo and Moonta Band, well, the band hasn't always been Kadina Wallaroo and Moonta, but it has been going for 100 and this, not quite yet, but nearly 160 years. I think they have their birthday this year, so I'm sure that there will be a special event to celebrate that. They are the last remaining brass band in the Yorke Peninsula. They're regulars at social events and they bring music to the ears of many at nursing homes, during Kernowek-Lawenda, Australia Day, Moonta Carols, and even through history, it's been reported that they farewelled and welcomed our servicemen and women as they went off. It takes utmost dedication. They don't just turn up at events and play. They meet weekly to rehearse, and I'm sure most of the musicians also practice individually between their weekly group. So the dedication they have shown for 160 years, well, I don't know that these have done it for 160 years, but that dedication needs to be congratulated. I know we are the envy of many other regions that don't have this, a band to come and play at events like this. We're really lucky, so I hope it continues for another 160 years. I won't be here to congratulate you then, and I don't think you will be either. But so thank you and congratulations on all that you bring to the Copper Coast. Do you want to speak? Yes. Oh, thanks, Bill. Thank you. Thank you. Mayor,
Need to get really close.
oh yeah.
Mayor Rosalind Talbot and the Copper Coast Council. As bandmaster of the Kadina Wallaroo Moonta Band, I'm very happy and proud to accept this award today on behalf of the band. As mentioned, the KWM band will be celebrating its 160th anniversary on the 24th of September with a concert at the Wallaroo Town Hall, and will be inviting patrons, past members and life members to attend, as well as all of you. 2023 will indeed be a busy year for the band with the Kernowek-Lawenda in May, as well as all our other annual commitments. The members of the band come from all over the peninsula and make a huge commitment to travel to Wallaroo every Monday night for rehearsals, as well as fulfilling our events programme. We're very lucky to still have a working community band in this area, and I'm sure you'll all agree that live music absolutely lifts events like this, and I hope that we can keep going for another 160 years, or even another 6 years would be really good, being realistic. So, on behalf of all the players sitting over there, I would like to thank the Copper Coast Council for this recognition. The certificates will hang proudly in the band room alongside the Copper Coast Community Event of the Year, which was awarded to the band in 2014 for our 150th anniversary celebrations. So thank you very much. Thank you.
I can't go without saying something as well, can I? You know what? I see in the band enthusiasm, dedication, commitment. We are a big, happy family of musicians of all ages, shapes and sizes, but we are committed and dedicated to playing music for your entertainment. We work as a team, and every team needs a good leader, and we have a good leader in this young lady here, Linda. So thank you, Council, for the nomination and for the award, and I see this award as a and commitment. Happy Australia Day.
Thank you. And I'm sure we will get a photo of the whole band later because although Linda and Graham accepted the award, it is a large team effort. The final award for today is the Copper Coast Citizen of the Year. And I'm very pleased to announce Sarah Pridham as the 2023 Citizen of the Year. Sarah. Sarah and her husband Ben sadly lost their son Jasper shortly after his birth in 2017. Losing a child is an unimaginable tragedy, and somehow this loss has given Sarah the strength to honour Jasper's short life in the ways she knew how. Sarah has been dedicated to supporting other bereaved parents both locally and nationally. She has shared her story on ABC Radio, Take 5 magazine, Still Standing magazine, and been a part of a 5-book collaboration to help others learn through their journey of grief and loss. In November 21, Sarah launched Forever Young. This Australia-wide program focuses on the mental, physical and emotional health and well-being of bereaved parents, with Sarah making free keepsake boxes and support information packs, and more than 100 businesses listed offering special discounts on their services and products. Sarah has hosted 6 fundraisers since 2017, raising over $24,000 and donating all proceeds to a variety of health and emergency services. Sarah believes in sharing her story with the hope that it will continue to break the taboo society still holds around the topic of baby loss. And she hopes that by having the courage to be vulnerable, it will help to inspire other bereaved parents to share their story, and that it will encourage other local bereaved parents to feel comfortable enough to do so as well. Sarah, congratulations on the way you have honoured Jasper's short life and the strength you have shown in facing adversity. I know this is not the end of your story, as I'm aware of other projects you have in the pipeline. I think if anyone reads the February agenda of the council meeting, you might get some of the details of Sarah's next project. Hoping the elected members support that, not that I like to influence them. Thank you for giving strength to those when they need it the most. Sarah, congratulations on being our Citizen of 2023. Thank you. I'll just present Sarah that and congratulate her, and we look forward to seeing the continuing work that she does in this area. Thank you. You want just her?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you everyone for your patience. I'd like to thank you all for coming this morning. I hope your bellies are full, your hearts are full, you're enjoying this beautiful weather. But that is the end of the formal proceedings. Don't need to rush off. Enjoy chatting with everyone. So I hope you all enjoy the rest of the day and celebrate Australia Day how you wish to celebrate it, and continue to stay safe and well. The Kadina and Wallaroo Moonta Band will close the proceedings with a little bit of entertainment, but I have asked them particularly to play this next song to congratulate all award winners and to give themselves a little imaginary pat on the back while they are doing it. So thank you everyone for coming along, and thank you to the band.